I'm a huge history buff, so I was very curious to know how much research did this role require? Did you do a ton of digging into Catherine Medici, or did you kind of stick to the script to figure out those character beats?
I think, first of all, the first thing that I would have been given was the script, and it was the storyline and just going through her life. And then lots of conversations with Justin and Stacey, the director of the first episode. And then for me, I wanted to go away once I decided that, we all agreed of my interpretation, I was going to play the role. Then it was about listening to the audiobook, and anything I could find on her, just kind of trying to take it in as much as I could. But then after a point, you have to really trust your scripts.
Definitely. And, she's such a fascinating figure, I think. And so I was really curious, what was it about her in particular that sort of attracted you to this role? How did you kind of find your inner Medici, so to speak?
Okay. I think firstly, I'm lucky I get to play lots of formidable characters, complex characters, sometimes very hard hitting. And having spent 3 years playing Alpha, pretty much crazy kind of role to get into and to feel and inhabit, I was looking for something I'm always looking for things that are very different than the things I've done before. And so for Catherine, obviously the minute you read the storyline and the scripts, you're like, what an amazing role. So that was it, really, kind of wanting to make sure that I could do it justice, that it was something that was going to interest me, that she was complex, that she was, acting's a muscle, and you want to keep that muscle going, and you want to, you don't want to be bored.
Definitely. And, you also have Liv Hill playing the younger version of Catherine, who is also just phenomenal. So what was that kind of working relationship like with her? How did you guys collaborate together to sort of find that through line?
Yeah. Well, firstly, when I knew that Liv had been cast as young Catherine, I was overwhelmed and happy, oh, thank goodness we're in safe hands, because she's got incredible instincts, and I just could watch her all day. I think she's a brilliant actress. And I don't say that lightly, because I'm quite tough, of who I like. And we thought it was important that we have Zoom conversations. I was in New York, she was in the UK, and then she was in France and I was in the UK. So we just had, Zoom conversations in regards to our interpretation of Catherine and who she was, and how we understood her, and things that we identified with, and just ask it. And I wanted to know if she had any questions for me or anything I could do to help, or it was about finding the truth of Catherine.
Yeah. And, you kind of touched on going from the role of Alpha to Catherine Medici, and, kind of going from a post-apocalypse to now this 16th century France. So what was it like to be on set and kind of immerse yourself in this period in history?
I've played historical figures before. I played Mary Queen of Scots in the Golden Age film, and I've done various other costume dramas, but they've been based on novels. So Jane Eyre's, Charlotte Bronte, Sophia Weston was Tom Jones, Emma was, Harriet, who was in Emma, which again is a Jane Austen. So these are all they were all stories, but Catherine was real. So what normally, if I'm playing somebody that's real, has been real, I can look at photographs, or I can listen to audio of them, or even look at video footage. But this I wasn't able to. I was, so it was, that was tricky, just trying to find her, there's clues and secrets everywhere. So just trying to bring all that together. But ultimately a great challenge to be going from, wearing a mask in The Walking Dead, and, and then Tales of the Walking Dead, Alpha's backstory. It's great to have that contrast. I'm incredibly lucky, and they're so different. And if you like to watch one episode of The Walking Dead and then you were to watch the other one, you're like, is that the same person? It's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was great to see. I loved the show. I can't wait to see the rest of it. And it was such a pleasure speaking with you today.